how much a company has to endure to be able to provide quality products. Because see, today it is very easy for somebody to say, oh, you know what, I have a sauce brand and this is the bottle that I'm making, look how fancy it looks. Like, you can make the logo fancy, but you can't make the process fancy. I want people to understand
So
that.
logo is my mummy's name, my mother's name.
Acha.
Yeah, Veeba.
So walk me through that process and tell me how much a company has to go through to provide that quality product in the hands of the people.
This will be very boring. So if I'm talking too much, just raise your hand. I'll
Done.
stop. First of all, at an infrastructure level, you have to raise the plant 4 feet, right?
4 feet, okay.
उससे क्या होता है? I mean, कोई no rat or snake can climb vertically. So the amount of concrete needed to raise a plant by 4 feet, 500,000 square feet is a lot of money. Number
How much
one.
would that be? Give me like a number, no?
I can't put a number. It will be a few crores, right? I mean, that much. So, second, doors, automatic doors are needed. You can't have a door which is, like that. So each door has a 3-layer protection. That means a door which will close automatically. And it can't be a door like this door, right? It has to be a food quality standard door which fits into the glass policy of the company. So the glass of that door cannot break, because what if every bottle which goes into the market passes through a metal detector. So जो हम mall में जाते हैं, there's a metal detector. Imagine 100x of that specified. It can detect up to 0.5 mm of metal. Because the whole plant is of metal, so कोई metal आ जाए, but those detectors cannot detect glass. So, and this is, I'm sorry, very boring for your viewers. So again,
But I'm loving it.
Okay. So they cannot detect glass. So there's a glass policy of every reputed food company, which basically means glass nahi toot sakta. So first there are doors. Doors have to have glass because you have to see the whole plant, but the glass cannot break. So it's toughened and food filmed and all of that. Then there are rubber curtains, because you don't want anything to come in which should not come in. Then there are air curtains. And air curtains, again, sorry to say, not like जो हम malls में देखते हैं, they're actually high pressure, good air curtains, right? So 3-layer security तो हो जाती है at each door. Then there are pesto flashes, cleanliness of the pesto flashes. Exhausts have 3-layer protection, filter hota hai, ye hota hai, wo hota hai. Then there's the HVAC department, HVAC infrastructure. The one thing is keeping the plant hygienic. The second thing is keeping the air hygienic also, right? What if the air has contamination? So you have to make sure that the air is clean. Then once a week we shut our plant for a few hours.
Shut down?
Yeah, and we take microbial swabs from about, I don't know the exact number now, but earlier it was 42, 43, maybe it's become 70, 75 now.
So you rub the swab in multiple places?
Yeah. So the swab will be run off multiple places. Air vent के ऊपर से जाके swab लेंगे. Obviously देखो production line तो हम लेते ही लेते हैं, but production line के नीचे से swab लेंगे. So all of these things cost. Each microbial test costs money. Now we do it because our brand is at stake. I'm sure the giants, the incumbents, the Nestle's and the Unilever, obviously they must be doing it also, because their brands are also far larger than ours, so they must be putting it that kind of thing. Not they must be, they definitely are. But coming back to the where we started, a 3P manufacturer might save certain places, certain things which कहेगा मैं एयर कर्टन कम लगा लेता हूँ, मैं एयर कर्टन की वोल्टेज कम कर लेता हूँ, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल बचा लेता हूँ, मैं रबर कर्टन नहीं लगाता, मैं डोर को उस स्पेसिफिकेशन का नहीं लगाता, all of those things.
Because for them there is no risk, right? The brand is not at risk, but for you guys it's the name at risk.
And also, again, I must repeat this again and again, nobody does a mistake on purpose. It is that last percentage of profit juicing out of it which causes these errors erroneously. It's not that you have to be a bad human being to cheat someone on purpose, right? So these guys are not that. They're great people. I know a lot of third-party manufacturers. They're very good people. गलतियाँ होती हैं because कहीं पे वो एक थोड़ा सा profit margin extract करके, they will. That's what.
So small profit costs you heavy losses.
And you have to understand, not them. The brand goes through the loss, right? I can't come and tell you, मेरे third party manufacturer ने किया था. As a consumer, you're trusting Veeba, not, you don't read behind pack के किसने बनाया है. Today, 99.5% of our production is in-house. 0.5 we have outsourced because I'm very, how do I say, possessive or something. So, and I was talking to our chief supply chain officer. So I said, देखो, कर लेते हैं सिर्फ मेरी सेटिस्फैक्शन के, जिन 10 days उनके वहाँ हमारी प्रोडक्शन हो रही है कि हमारे 3 बंदे भेज देना, एंड ही वाज लाइक यार फिर कर क्यों रहे हो? तो ऐसे सुशील जी करके तो देखो, थोड़े टाइम के लिए ऐसे कर लो, फिर बाद में देख लेंगे क्या करने.
मैं समझ रहा हूँ आपका दर्द मैं समझ रहा हूँ.
So exactly.
क्योंकि when it comes to, and this is a very small thing as compared to what you were doing, but when it comes to the video also, I have to watch the video. I have to sit down for 20 minutes to see every single thing. फिर भी कुछ ना कुछ तो छूट जाता है. Some spelling mistake occurs here and there, but I can understand the possessiveness that you have with your product. So you're telling me that a company has to go through an extraordinary amount of pain to be able to do something in-house, A. B, to be able to produce a high quality product like sauce, because to us, we've seen a lot of reels where a product is just being made in the factory. It's not like Discovery ka mega factory where everything is just happening automatically. There are so many things like this thing that you just told me about swabs. Like, we do not expect you to do that, but you still have to do it. Nobody will ever figure that out. And Steve Jobs' father, he was a perfectionist. And his father was cleaning the front yard. And Steve said, okay, this is done, let's go inside. He said, no, backyard bhi clean karna zaruri hai.
Otherwise, वहाँ से गंद सारा उधर आ जाएगा.
So he asked his father, but dad, nobody's going to watch that.
No, but you will know, right?
That's exactly what he said. But you will know. Yeah. So, this is what fascinates me about founders like you, that you care about those things that nobody will ever notice. Your investor will never notice it. Your consumers will never notice it. In fact, they don't even know कि वो notice करें.
But they should not also, right? It's not their business to notice. It's like I wouldn't, very honestly, I see things cool, videos. As I was telling you, lunchtime मैं देखता हूँ. Is it my business to know how much effort you're putting? For me, it is my. So I look at it, how I look at things cool is कि I'm having lunch alone और मेरे को हर रोज lunch के time 15-20 मिनट का अच्छा ज्ञान in an interesting way मिल जाता है. Do I really care how much effort you have put in editing? How much, now I'm here and I'm actually shocked at the infrastructure you have. That was my first line as soon as I entered here. अब मेरे को अगली बार मैं देखूँ मैं कहूँगा यार इतना बड़ा infrastructure इन लोगों का है. But this small thing I did not know, right? And I think it's good only that I don't know, because, if I start telling all my consumers about it, then maybe someone who's planning to put up a sauce plant, he'll also learn and he'll also start doing all of this. Why? Khair, aaj main publicly bol raha hu because you're asking me. But each business has some nuances and certain extra things you need to do. Maybe someone from one of the large MNCs is listening and thinking कि ये क्या बोल रहे, तो obvious बात है. But I know the smaller companies are not doing it. Obvious baat hai, because it costs money and you need to have money to do all of this. And when, the thing is, as I keep saying, taste is subjective. It is okay for someone to not like my sauce. I really pray it doesn't happen, but that's a pray. Food safety is not subjective. Food safety mein there's no one who can say, unlike a tech company, we're not making. If a program glitches in a tech company, and with due respect to tech companies, I think they're amazing. But in my case, if there's a glitch, a kid's tummy might go for a toss. I don't want to live with that guilt. Or forget some kid, my own kid's tummy can go for a toss. Why should I? So I have to ensure, if I want to sleep peacefully, that at least that is taken care of.
But I'll tell you why I appreciate this a lot. Okay? They say that good companies do those things well that everybody takes notice of. But great companies do even those things well that nobody takes notice of.
Yeah.
So, and being a creator myself, I know that there are a lot of things that my audience will never notice. But even then I do it. And then,
because you want the best product out.
Yeah, but I'm doing that at a very small scale. But you guys are doing it at such a massive scale that, I'm just fascinated by it.
So we were doing it at a very small scale 6-7 years back also, right?
True, but you were a great company even when you were small. It's just that you were small back then.
So we were, again, as I said, from the restaurant business, we learned that everything does not need to have a system. Let's get the revenue first. But food safety, again, as I keep saying, it's not subjective. Food safety पे तो compromise हो ही नहीं सकता ना. So अगर जब हमारे पास पैसे नहीं थे, me and Mukul ji, we started the plant together. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But Mukul ji and I were the first two people at the plant level. And we both were very clear कि food safety पे तो कोई मतलब चाहे हमारे पास पैसे हैं नहीं हैं हमारा हम we were making roughly 5-6 tons of sauce at that time, but हमारा microbial lab तब भी था.
Wow.
So and I can't tell you, मेरे को आज तक वो नंबर याद है, वो 2.5 लाख रुपए का ओवरहेड था महीने का उसमें. आज की डेट में मस्ट बी अबाउट 30, मेरे को नंबर भी नहीं पता, बट इफ आई हैड टू गेस इट वुड हैव बीन, इट शुड बी बिटवीन 30 to 40 lakhs होगा कम से कम. बट उस टाइम पे वो जो 2.5 लाख मेरे को चुभता था, बट इट वाज, वो थॉट कभी नहीं आया कि यार बंद कर देता हूँ. सो डे वन व्हेन वी वर मेकिंग लाइक अ few 100 kgs, we still had a microbial lab, a microbiologist, full, ये जो 4 टेस्ट होते हैं, yeast and mold, coliform, TPC, we were doing it for every single batch that we made. We had an incubator, we had एक्सेलरेटेड शेल्फ लाइफ स्टडी करते थे कि अगर मार्केट में कुछ खराब हो रहा है 3 महीने बाद तो हमें 1 महीने में पता चल जाए. सो वो चीज़ें तब से हो रही थी.
Very interesting. You know, guys, this is a very important lesson to all the people who are listening to it and people who are watching it, that you have to be a great company no matter whether you're a small company or a big company. And the attribute of greatness comes from these things, whereby you do things so well that nobody takes notice of, but eventually it is reflected in your product. Again, nobody will be there to appreciate it, but that is where great things happen. You know, Steve Jobs did this back in the 1980s and 90s. आपको पता है, मुझे पता नहीं. Everybody used to make cases very easily, you know, using substandard material. But this guy is like, no, I will have the highest quality of plastic for...
Actually, मेरे को आपके podcast से पता, आपके podcast नहीं, आपके video से. You did this thing
Boeing.
on... Yeah.
We covered it in Boeing.
Yes.
And that makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what fascinates me a lot. You know, I see you guys like artists because मेरे लिए business एक art है. और आप लोग जो इतना मेहनत कर रहे हो, so I'm just mind blown by the way.
I have never seen myself as an... So for me, I think, you know, I always say this to my team also, it's boring is sexy. Every day you go to the office and you do the same thing with your head down. My happy place in the world is my office. I just love being in office and doing the same thing every day, in and out, in and out, in and out, and loving it. That is what makes a company a good company. I think this, if you know, boring is sexy. You have to accept that, know that, because you will be doing the same thing maybe for the rest of your life, or at least the next, you know, whatever X number of years.
Love it. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching the Indian Business Podcast. If you find value in our work, please hit that subscribe button, because for you it might be a zero effort task, but for us that subscriber count is an important instrument to get great guests to our podcast and to make this podcast better for you. So if you find value, please subscribe.